It is my great honor and pleasure to introduce my former boss and the next President of the United States. Well, I can tell this is a rowdy group. Excuse me, I've been talking all day. So, no problem. I will sip and talk here. Well, somebody else can talk for a minute here. Ed Rendell can talk.
Come on. Always. Come on, Ed.
Just till I stop coughing. Come on, Ed. So, as a friend of mine said the other day, I am occupying from the center left to the center right, and I don't have much company there. There is a sense of disappointment among young people about politics, and there are a lot of different reasons for it. You know, some take the position that they were for President Obama and he didn't revolutionize our country. Some are new to politics completely. They're children of the Great Recession, and they are living in their parents' basement. That is a mindset that is really affecting their politics. And so if you're feeling that you're consigned to, you know, being a barista or, you know, some other job that doesn't pay a lot and doesn't have much of a ladder of opportunity attached to it, then the idea that maybe, just maybe, you could be part of a political revolution is pretty appealing. I mean, I'm still trying to understand the revolution part, because here's how I think about it. That it's a false promise. But I don't think you tell idealistic people, particularly young people, that they bought into a false promise.
You hear a lot about corporate inversions in the news, and whether you agree or disagree, the reason that they're happening is because there are, how shall I say, some inefficiencies with the corporate tax code. So wanted to get your thoughts on reform of that going forward.
Well, we're going to have to reform the tax code because it's just not working for us. We're not, you know, the effective tax rate is very low. It really bothers me the way a lot of American companies are behaving right now. We set a tax rate and people have to pay it because I think it has to be part of an overall kind of global deal. Creative ideas I like is using some of it to fund a national infrastructure bank, which would come back at a much lower rate than whatever the rate is we set. But it is going to be difficult. I think this gentleman right there, yes, right? Yeah.
What are the odds, in your estimation, that Senator Sanders could win a general election?
Very low. He hasn't been vetted. His ideas have not been vetted. Read the New York Times today. They finally are looking at some of his plans. They actually think they're worse than I think they are after analyzing them. But his ideas are indefensible. And come up with pictures of Bernie visiting Russia during the Cold War and all of that. It is not a pleasant sight. I still think, you know, it would be really, really low. But that's one of the reasons why I feel so strongly about this, because we have to win this election. We have to have a Democrat in the White House to succeed President Obama. So, okay, final question right there. Yes, here you go.
Madam Secretary, my name is Andy Weber. I was a former Assistant Secretary of Defense, and my question is about nuclear weapons and the $1 trillion modernization program. Secretary Perry and I have publicly called for cancellation of the replacement of the nuclear-armed air-launched cruise missile called the LRSO. And my question is, when you're president, and you will be president, will you cancel this program if President Obama doesn't in the next 11 months and lead the world in a ban on this particularly destabilizing, dangerous type of nuclear weapon? Thank you.
Well, I certainly would be inclined to do that for a number of reasons, that you know so well. The last thing we need are, you know, sophisticated cruise missiles that are nuclear